Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of the vermicomposting worm farming deal. Hey, what are you doing? He's not chasing squirrels, so he's out here bothering me. Anyway, in this part, I will be showing you, we've got the bucket last time. This is the inner bucket with the holes. In this part, I'm going to be showing you how to get your bedding set and also how to feed your worms. So right now what I've got in here, sphagnum moss. This makes a great bedding. Also, you can use newspapers. Just if you use newspapers, do not use any colored ink, please. Worms don't like the dyes that's in that colored ink, and it may harm them. So, I was going to also show you shredded newspaper, but I think we're all smart enough to not go through me illustrating how to do shredded newspaper. What you want to do is you want to put about 2 inches into your bed. Now you'll also, whether you're using the sphagnum moss or you're using newspaper, you want to get this damp. You don't want it soaked full of water, but you don't want it dry also. So you want to wring out any excess water, and this will make a great bedding for your worms. They will eat the sphagnum moss, they will eat the newspapers, but it also makes a nice clean bed for them to live in. Now I'm going to run into the house, grab the worms real quick, and show you what we've got going on. I didn't want to bring them out right now. I've tried to wait a little bit until we had a cloudy day. Worms don't like sunlight. They don't like temperatures over 70 degrees, 75, so they get a little dormant. They don't move around so quick. So that's the reason in the delay of getting this video to you, because we actually had a little heat wave here late August, early September, and I really didn't want to take the chance of getting the worms in any harm. Be right back. Alright, here we have our bucket. This is pretty much all castings. First thing you'll notice probably is that I am wearing gloves. The reason I am wearing gloves is that, as most of you are aware, we all have oils that come out of our skin, and I do not want to handle the worms or the bedding to disrupt it with any of the oils coming off my skin. I've handled these without the gloves. Nothing's really harmed. As you can see right here, I've actually got some food, and there's my lovely red wigglers doing their job. Now they are pretty much buried underground, or under the surface, because of the daylight that's out here. Oh, here we go. There we go. Come on out here, guys. These are red wigglers. Red wigglers have a lifespan longer than any other type of worm that you can buy for composting. These will live about 6 years. They can actually multiply at the age of 1 month. So when I started last year and a half, I had 4 of these buckets going, or I'm sorry, I had 1 of these buckets going. Now I'm up to 5. So they are not moving very quickly right now because of the daylight, but I keep these in the basement, keep the light off. They're not underneath any light source. So this is pretty much all castings that's getting ready to be harvested. I will do another video next week. Hopefully next week. I promised you this video 3 weeks ago, but it's been a little bit rough with work and everything, and like I said, I'm dodging raindrops. I'm trying to hurry up and get this video done. So now let's show you how we feed these little makers of black gold. Alright, now when it comes to feeding your worms, you cannot use any kind of meat or poultry. Obviously, you don't want that. What you can use is any veggie scraps that you have. I get the outdated bananas that are, you know, really dark. I get those from the grocery store that's marked down next to nothing. I freeze them, throw them in the freezer. Then I take them out, dice them up, put them in the food processor, put them in the blender, whatever you have. You're going to want to make a smoothie. I have found that my worms actually like the the sweets better than the veggies. I mean, they like it all, obviously, but it seems like they eat better when there's a little mixture. So then what I'll do is, after I make the smoothies, put them in these ice cube trays, let them freeze. I'll drop one of these in there about 2 every 3 days. You'll be able to tell when your worms are needing food. A worm will eat his weight every day in food. I know they don't weigh very much, but collectively they do, and that's about how much you need to put in your beds. If you overfeed your bed, it's no big deal. That is the only time you will get a smell from your bed, and it'll be the mold coming off of there. Nothing to worry about. These worms will go ahead and eat that produce at the same time. They'll eat the mold off of it, no big deal. And it will get rid of your smell. Trust me, if these babies smelled in my basement, my wife wouldn't allow them in there. So I'm not going to show you the chopping of the vegetables. This mix right here has got eggshells in it, which is perfectly fine. Grind them up. You know, you don't want to throw a big eggshell in there because that worm's not going to eat it. Grind all your food up. You can use coffee grounds, newspaper, shredded newspaper works great, paper products, cardboard. Make sure it's shredded up. You can use any of that stuff. They will eat it. My raised beds had a cardboard liner in it when I first got it to keep the weeds from coming up. Well, all I did was spritz it down, dampen it really, really good before I put the soil in there. Hope you can hear me. Anyway, the shredded cardboard, the cardboard piece that was in there is now all gone. For a year and a half, the worms have ate that entire cardboard. Now my raised bed is full of worms. I love it. They're feeding, they're aerating the soil for me. So anyway, like I said, we're just going to drop one of these cubes. This mixture here has got an old cucumber. We went away for a few days. Had some green peppers out of the garden that was starting to get soft on us. De-seeded them. Do not, I mean, you can grind the seeds up in there, but it's just a little harder for the worms to chew. So anyway, this has got cucumber, green peppers, banana peels, rinds and all, the whole banana. Put the rinds in there. I wouldn't put the stem on there, but they absolutely love any kind of produce. At the end of the video, I will have a list of things that you can and cannot put into the garden. I will have a list of everything that you can put into the worm bed and things that you shouldn't. Like I said, you don't want any kind of meat, no dairy, no cheeses or anything like that. You can actually use dried breadcrumbs. By using strictly produce, your beds will get quite moist. The worms will not like that bed quite that moist. So you may want to make sure you have a fan. You want to leave the lid on, put the light on above it. Put a fan blowing across there to kind of dry out your soil and your castings a little bit. The worms will let you know if it's too wet. They will start to crawl out. Same way as when your garden over here gets hit by torrential rains, you'll see the worms coming to the surface. That's what will happen here, and they'll start to crawl out. So thank you for watching Gardening for Fun and Profit. If you like what you've seen, you want me to do other videos, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Appreciate your time. I know we're all busy. So next week I will show you how to harvest the castings. Thanks everybody. Have a good day.